Alright, you beautiful motherfuckers, welcome to today's video. And in today's video I'm going to show you 3 stocks that are leading the market and I think can explode in price even more. And as well, I'm going to give you several other stocks to keep your eyes on so you can actually make some more money. So the first stock is going to be SINC. SINC, as we can see, is unrestricted 500 million shares held at DTC 400. That means it's really light. 5 million floater is really nothing. Now, the only caveat with that is there is active dilution, and that's actually the main catalyst here. So the main catalyst over here is that they have a little bit left to dilute, which is probably done by today when I'm recording this video, to be honest. As you can see over here, this is the latest update, and as well as that, we can see that the company is relatively active on Twitter. This is the notes calculation if you want to have a good look at it. Even if there is some dilution going on with the stock, the buying volume and the buying pressure is way higher than the dilution, and it's going to end up really soon. So I really think if nothing changes, the stock can actually go a lot higher. As well as that, we can see the chart. All right, so the chart, we actually closed at 20, so the next resistance is at 25, and the resistance afterwards is at 10. The resistance afterwards is 0.0033, and I really think we're going to gap up over this resistance come Monday. The thing that I like about SINC as well as that is there are a lot of big names trading this stock and talking about it and supporting it. So I think that if the company dangles the carrot and actually provides more updates to the shareholders, it can actually go up in price tremendously. Moving on, PHBI. Again, we can see unrestricted 500 million shares. We can see that the OTC in general is going towards these stocks which are lower than 500 million shares in float. Regarding PHBI, we can see that the company CEO Peter Wojcik is actually been really active, to be honest. Recently he picked up both Twitter accounts from the company and himself, and we can actually see that they have a really big deal. To be honest, I wasn't on the spaces when he talked about it, but this guy did the math, so I cannot confirm anything, but by the math that this guy did, it's $20 to $30 million in revenue just to start. We're going to wait to the next PR, but regardless of that, we're actually right at the resistance over here, and I think it's really likely that we might see a gap up above 46.45, which is the resistance. And the beautiful thing is that you actually need to go to the weekly candles in order to see that previous resistance, and it's going to be at 58s to 60, 75s, and of course the penny mark. I really think that if the company is going to provide any update during the weekend, it's going to gap up over this resistance and just probably pull a parabolic move. And lastly, NBRI. This is a fatter stock. Bear in mind, when I'm saying fatter, we've seen 5 billion shares stocks trading at penny mark this market, so it's not that special. The main catalyst here, I genuinely don't have a main catalyst here. The only thing besides all the assets they have, which is equivalent of I don't know how much, hella shit ton of gold. The main catalyst here is whoever is pushing this has a lot of money. All right, that's the main catalyst. All this volume, all this accumulation, someone is pushing this stock and it's actually trading really thin. Someone locked this bad boy. Someone took a lot of shares and is holding a lot of shares. I would not be surprised to see an announcement from the company. Again, caveat, if the dilution starts happening, because it didn't get to 5 billion shares out of thin air, it's not going to be that fun for whoever is holding all these shares. But I do think by the level 2 and by the way it moves, it can actually go higher. It closed at 11, and I think we might see a gap up on here as well, but not something too crazy. I would like to see it open another to the right, 10 being the support and 15 being the resistance. Moving on to the stocks that I'm actually watching within this market. RDAR, the volume says it all. I will not be surprised to see like big catalysts coming over. I am genuinely concerned about dilution here, so I am keeping an eye on it. I want to see if there's like any active dilution, and as well as that, what's going on with the wall at 0006. There is like 160 million shares wall. I want to see what it does on Monday, what it does on Tuesday, and how many shares are being loaded at 4s and 5s. As well as that, we have SPQS pulling their shit together. There was, I think, like active dilution today and yesterday. I do think it's like the hero case, which is like they dilute a shit ton of shares and then they push the stock upwards and like pump it up. I would like to see the selling drying off and just it being pushed up. And I do think this is a really good setup if they don't dilute. But we will need to see come Monday. As well as that, we have GRNF. This tweet like says it all. Maintaining shareholder value, 35 outstanding shares, 5 in float, no shares issued in the last year, no convertible notes, just good setup overall. I would love to see this keep moving upwards. As well as that, SFRX, I'm watching this one to actually break the 86 and continue going up to the next resistance, which is going to be the 100. ASRH, which has an LOI with a company with several millions of dollars in revenue. You can read all about it, but I do think this has a potential of going up, especially with the float that this one has. And lastly, NGCG, John Kent, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, says he's going like to take some. And as you can see over here as well, held at DTC, only 473 million shares, which is really similar to PHBI, SINC, which both are trading at 20 and 40s. So I am watching NGCG as well, and I am keeping a close eye on it. So if you liked today's video and gained any insight, sure you show support by liking this video, writing down a comment, and just sharing it if you can. Appreciate it. See you in the next one.